Alrighty, folks, we are going to have a conversation that, frankly, we probably have had years ago. We should have had years ago. And that is about what do we do when bad stuff happens? Last week, for example, we heard from Bo that unfortunately his dog Pepper passed very quickly, very unexpectedly. Obviously, if people watch my channel for a length of time, you know that I tried to talk to you the day after Jimbo passed, which was horrific. We've also had hard days in business. I've had fires, I've had lawsuits. We've lost deals. We can talk about sales career of having a $10 million commitment not be signed by one person. Yes, we had 9 signatures and could not get the 10th. So again, it's about what do you do when bad things happen? Because as Bo said before we started the call, they happen to everybody. So Bo, I know social media is the highlight reel. I know we like to talk about all the good days, but what do you do? What do you take solace in when the bad things happen? Because they happen to all of us.
Well, we were just talking before we went live here is they seem to happen in 3, right? So you get punched in the face once, then twice, then a couple of days later you get punched in the face again.
Thank you. May I have another? Yes, yes.
Yeah. And so it's hard, right? Because some days you're like, you know what? I just don't have the mojo right now. I gotta, people are booking calls. I have to be ready to kind of give them energy and advice. So yeah, I mean, it goes to, I can think of one word, and that word is grit, and I think that's what everything this channel stands for. And that's why I like to show up here, is that we all understand the words do the work, right? Yeah. We understand that if it was easy, everybody would do it, right? Amen. And so if you were to take these 3 punches in the face, well, actually 4, and I would just say, you know what, I'm just going to take a week and do nothing, which, sometimes some people need to do that. But for me, I find like, you know what, I lost a little bit. I need to go back and train more. Mm-hmm. And I need to do what I do best. Right. And so if you understand that, same thing where I used to see somebody get in, I just talked to my good friend in the Bay Area, and she did her last deal flip. It was a flip. And she did all this work, basically broke even. She thought she was going to lose money. At least she might have lost $2,000 or $3,000. But then she went and told me that on the job, the contractor cut 2 of his fingers off.
Oh gosh!
And she was fortunate that she made sure that he was working through a licensed contractor. If she didn't do that, he would have probably come after her, mm-hmm, for sure, for a claim, and that could have been huge, right? So one thing I learned from that conversation is don't shortcut. A lot of us, when I used to do remodels and so forth, a lot of us have the tendencies to take shortcuts, and that one time could literally cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars. Yep. So, I'm not going to say the word because we're on YouTube, but or we will be. But blank happens, right? Blank happens. And so what I find helps me is a good workout. Okay, get the endorphins pumping, because it's never. If life was always peaches and cream, then I think we'd be numb. Mm-hmm. So I think you have to have these punches in your faces, and understand that's part of it. And the more you can appreciate getting knocked down and getting back up, I think that's when you start really winning.
Yeah, when I think about all the bad things that have happened to me over the years, and that goes back to sales careers, lost commissions, think about all the theft and property manager. I mean, I've had plenty of horrible things happen. I always kind of default to the following thought process. Number one is, what's the lesson? There's a book, one of my favorite books, by David Goggins, basically, by the Navy SEALs, Extreme Ownership. I think everything that happens to me is my fault. It's just my natural bias. I believe if I put the blame on somebody else, I'm giving them power, and I never want to give another human being power over me. So I assume everything is my fault. So the first thing I do when a bad thing happens is I get quiet and I ask for what the lesson is. And more times than not, there is a lesson to be learned. And the lessons are important for me because I never want to pay that price twice. That was something I told my sales teams, right? I ran sales teams for well over a decade. We are all going to lose deals. We are all going to lose deals that we thought were rock solid. But here's the deal, folks. I can forgive losing deals if we learn a lesson, but I will never forgive losing a deal for the same lesson. That's unacceptable in my book. So the first thing I ask is lessons. The next thing I ask myself is what process or what change should I put in place to reduce the likelihood of that happening again, right? What's the procedure or process I can put in place? Next, it's not always there and it's not always obvious, but I just naturally think there's a silver lining. Like, what's the silver lining of this? Where's the rainbow in the storm? And it's not always there. It's not always easy to find, but usually something could be found. And then finally, you said it last, get up and get going. I think you're right. A good workout or some, therapy to just get the endorphins going is helpful, but I just love getting back in the fight. I've been beat up a lot. And the only thing I know about myself is I'm coming back again. And, that's kind of the process that I run through.
Resilience, right? Like you have to just be resilient in business all the time. And, I've watched so many people, get into a business and it's a little bit harder than they thought. And, I could see the stress wear on them. And I'm like, look, it's not easy, but this is what builds the character. When you have a fire at one of your units, is that really your fault? No,
yeah. In reality, no. I didn't start it. I still remember the first phone call from my property manager saying, hey, Zuber, your duplex is on fire and it's going to be burnt to the ground. That is frightening. Thankfully, no loss of life, no loss of pets, all that, it's fine. And we had insurance. But, the lesson from that is I called my insurance company for the first time. Right? I had been in business probably 9 years when this happened, paid my insurance diligently, probably sent out over 6 figures in insurance checks over the 9 years. So I call my insurance agents, the claims office, like white as a ghost, not knowing what to do. And I just tell the person on the other end of the phone that, hey, this is the first time I'm doing this. This is what happened, blah, blah, blah. And oh, by the way, I don't live in the city, so I'm 3 hours away, right? So I don't have any information. And they're like, okay, who can we talk to, blah, blah, blah. So it felt like an hour. I'm sure it was 5 minutes. I was off the phone. I had an insurance claim number. I had a phone call the next day from the adjuster. And like, I don't know, 6 weeks later, I had a complete check for like $300,000. So it wasn't crazy. It wasn't hard. It was certainly unfortunate. I wish I still had the duplex, but you have insurance for a reason. So, the second time that happened 5 years later, it wasn't as scary because I'd done it once before.
And I think especially when you're growing, you're in your business stage. You really have to juggle a lot of balls in there, right? Like your business now is mature, so it's less thought going into it, right? But
sure.
As you're growing, that's where all the pain happens. That's where, trees fall on your house and you got to call the insurance. That's where tenants stop paying rent for months and you got to work with an eviction attorney and you feel so stressed out because you can't do anything. But those things are all part of the course. If you didn't want to grow, you would just work in a W-2 job 9 to 5. And when you get off work, you don't think about anything else. When you're an entrepreneur, everybody talks about how glamorous it can be, which it can be, but it takes years to get there, no matter what. So you never know what's going to happen. You always have to be prepared. And, and even though you can sometimes take some shortcuts, I always suggest think about the shortcuts you take. Think about making sure that people are licensed that are working on your fix and flip deal.
For sure,
right? Think about pulling the permit, because when if you didn't pull the right permit, and then down the road, the buyer finds out, right? And they come after you, right? And like now you're dealing with a much bigger issue than paying the $1,500 and the little bit more time it takes for the permit. So I think you just got to be aware of all these things and don't take the shortcuts in life, and then realize that you'll go through a season or two where things get hard. You lose your mom, you lose your dog, you lose deals, and the deals don't really matter. The dog and the mom matters to me, but you do, lose a little bit of your mojo every once in a while. And so you need to learn how to reset yourself and keep on the course, because that's the real key of it all. I have Pepper in my office right now in a little, I went, they had got the remains back at the vet, and then they're like, hey, you want to pick up Pepper? Yeah, my wife and I drove down there, and I walk in, instantly I could feel tears coming in my eyes, and then the lady reaches under the counter and gives me a bag, and I'm carrying Pepper to my car, and then I'm like, all right, where can I walk Pepper into my home office, and she's sitting there, and I'm thinking, there's my dog. Like 3 days ago, she was alive. So just, cherish those days that you played ball with your dog. And sometimes I was busy and, I didn't give Pepper as much attention as I should have. Same thing with my mom. If I could have one more conversation with her. So you have to also stop and smell the roses and celebrate your wins. Celebrate your wins. Celebrate that first rental property you buy, that first business spot you buy, that first gateway business you buy. And sometimes I don't celebrate wins, and sometimes I'm numb to it. I just closed a $5 million SBA loan, and I was kind of numb to it. It wasn't, but it's a success. I helped the guy negotiate the business down $1 million. I got the guy to the finish line on a legacy business that will create huge wealth. And I didn't stop and celebrate it to now I need to celebrate it, right? Think about the lives I changed. Think about the lives you changed, and think about whoever's watching this. What impact do you have on other people, right? That's really the most important thing, because when I'm on my deathbed, I'm not going to think about the $83,500 that I lost over the last week and a half, right? That's not really going to matter.
Oh, I love that. Folks, at the end of the day, bad things happen to all of us. It's how you respond, how you get up. Unfortunately, I have bad news for you. You have some bad days coming. Again, they come to all of us. What are you going to learn from it? Look for the silver lining, reset, move on. And I think the last little bit of this conversation was valuable too. We do need to do a better job, myself included, at celebrating and smelling the roses and taking just a little time. There's no chance in hell you should have just closed that $5 million deal and not recognized what you had done for them and their generations to come. So I agree with that entirely. If somebody wanted to have a phone call with you and talk shop, what do they do?
Go to onerentalmeeting.com. We want to help 1 million people over the next 10 years go from aspiring entrepreneur to successful business owner, whether that's buying a boutique motel, RV parks, franchises, gateway businesses like vending. I think, explore, take your time. We're not going to rush you in any decisions, and we're not going to get mad if ultimately it's not the right decision. But we want to help educate you along the way to be able to utilize all the tools out there, because we need tools in our tool belt to become more and more successful. So that's onerentalmeeting.com.
There you go, folks. Right there on the screen this whole time, onerentalmeeting.com. Thanks, family.
Thank you.